Hi, good morning. This is Bill Tainter. I'm watching a red bounce that we set up last night. Now I lost my lines because I had to reboot my machine and I just moved my stop loss. Oh, I'm pretty sure it was way down here. Yeah. It was below the 77.54. It was like 52 or something like that. And so I woke up this morning and it was right, let me zoom in here. You can see here's where we set the trade up in class last night, and price was way up here, see? And it came down, and then it popped through at London, and it pushed back up, and then it's pushed back up. Now there's news coming here in 15 minutes, so I tightened up my stop below this red. I'm hiding behind this red. Now this is great. It's closed above, and there's a long wick. And so I'm following this. My take profits are up here. Let me look. I was supposed to have 77.94 and like 95 or something like that. Let's look. Yeah, 94, 95. Let's see if we can get that. There's 94, 95. Okay, so again, this is how the red bounces work. You know, it may go through, but I don't panic. All the rules are different on the red bounce. Normally, oh, it closed below, so when it comes back, I'd sell it. Not on a red bounce. I don't do that when it's the end of the day like this. I literally, I put this trade on and I went to bed and I woke up right here. When I woke up, this was closed above. It was up like a pip. It was pretty much this candle, and I know the news is coming. And so I've tightened up my stop to hide behind here, and let me see what the news is. Let me fire up a browser and double check my Forex Factory. Check the calendar. Okay, it's core retail sales, and the retail sales month over month. Wow. And they're supposed to go up. Let's see, which means, oh, okay, great. So we're on the US yen, and it's the US news, and if it's positive news, they're a little bit of mixed. One's up and one's down. And so again, we got a couple options like here. See, I'm up 3 pips. One option is I just go to break even and I hang on, or I tighten my stop like I did and I hang on. I could go to break even and hang on. I could take 1 profit off and hang on. I could take 2 profits off and move my stop to break even and hang on, right? You have a whole variety of options that you need to figure out and what works best for you and what's your approach. Again, it depends on where you're at. You know, I've had a couple of losers in a row right now, so I'm trying not to let that influence me. I'm trying to just read the markets. It broke below, broke above, and right now it's in an uptrend. But again, with the news, it's a little bit unexpected. So we don't know what the news is. Let's see if we can get some movement here. So it's 7:20 a.m. There's my clock. Okay, 7:20 a.m. Tuesday the 13th. And you know, as it gets close to the news here, if I can get to break even, I'll move to break even, or I might take a third off. I'm just going to watch right up to the minute here and see what happens. So I'm trying to be, you know, protective, guard it, but yet leave opportunities for it to go my way if it does. Make sense? So again, it started out below the thermal grid below this, woke up and it was positive, but news was coming, so I moved my stop to protect it. The next step is to hide below the thermal grid and see how at the session open it pushed a little bit against me and then popped up. Now I've been up 4 or 5 pips already, so that's good. Okay. Okay, let me open up another MetaTrader. Hold on. Okay, so we're watching this closely. Here's our time. We got about 7-8 minutes. Okay, so we're going to play it this way. To reduce my risk, I'm going to take one off right now. So I move the take profit line to the price. There. Okay, I just processed off a third. No, I moved my stop. I got to get it out of the way quickly. Let's see if I can get it to burp up and stay in here. See, the expert advisor moves the stop loss automatically. Oh no, we're out. Shoot, I didn't get it in time. So we got out of 1 pip, I think. Next price tick it'll tell us. Shoot, I didn't factor in that. Here it comes. It's gonna gong me. I got gonged, and here comes the pips. Where are they? Okay, so what happened is I got out at 1 pip, and then these guys got me out at even. The final two, like this. Well, that's okay. You know, it's news. It could go totally against me and blow me out. I don't know. But I wanted to demonstrate one option at least for you to consider how this works. Okay, so we set the trade up back here, and I personally went to bed. This moved through, touched us in here. London opened, it pushed it up, news is coming and it's positive. The session even opened, and while it was positive, I tightened up my stop, tighten up my stop to here, and then as it's getting close to news, see, now look at, see, now it's 7:27, see how it's moving around. Now I have no idea where it's going to go. I have no idea on the news. So this, you know, I'm comfortable with, you know what, take some profit and get out. What I wanted to do is just take one off and then maybe take two off and then keep hiding behind this red. But the way the code works on ChartTrader, when it hits take profit 1, it immediately slams your stop loss line to break even, if it can. Now if price is too close, the broker won't allow it. It'll sit there and loop and try it. So when I hit the take profit 1, it moved the line right up to here. Well, then I tried to grab it and move it down. Well, the next price tick, it was already break even, and the next price tick had stopped it out before it could move. You got to understand, every time a expert advisor moves on the price. So if I change it, the next price tick, it runs the code. If I change it again, the next price tick, it runs the code. So basically, I needed the price to move away from the stop so that it could move it down. But it didn't. It moved against me before it moved it down, and that's why I got out. So fine. I got 1 pip 0.00 on my red bounce, and I think that's fair coming into the news. I'll keep the recording going. Let's see what happens on the news. But that's one approach on how to manage it. You got to understand, there's 1,000 ways to do this. I could tighten up this stop, let it run. I could take one profit off and let it run. I could take profit 1 and 2 off and let it run. I could take profit 1, move to break even, let it run. I could take profit 1 and 2 and move to break even and let it run. You follow me? I mean, I could shut the whole trade down like I did. I mean, it really depends on you. Every single day, 100% fact, every trade is a totally unique situation. There's no two traders. Your mindset's different, your goals, your pips, everything is totally different. You're going to trade different every single day, every single trade. Okay? Like if you're up 1,000 pips for the month, and this is, 3 days before the end of the month, and you're in this trade, you might go, I don't care, I'm just going to let it run. If it goes my way, great, and if I lose a few pips, I really don't care. See? Your attitude is totally different. What if you were in here and you're down 1,000 pips? You would be a nervous wreck and you go, dude, I'm shutting this thing down because I cannot afford any more losses. See, every single trade is different. So let me come back. Oh, it's 7:30. See, look at this. It just ticked over. Let's watch the news. Let's see what happens. I'll record this and let this run, and let's just see what happens. Again, nobody knows the news. No one knows the market, okay? So we can't sit here and if this shoots right straight through there and go, see, told you, Bill, you're an idiot. Why did you do that? Because no one knows the hard right edge. See, it's very, very immature to sit and look at yesterday's charts and say, oh, well, I would have sold it here and I would have bought it here. Do you understand? Right at this moment, we have no idea if this candle is going to close up or down. We got 13 minutes, 50 seconds. No one has any clue where this candle is going to close. So you cannot beat yourself up and say, oh gosh, and it goes way up through here and say, oh, see, I should have kept it open. And you just can't second guess yourself. You have to trade the hard right edge. This is called trading, okay? This is what trading is all about. You have to make a fundamental decision right here. Am I going to buy it? Am I going to sell it? Right? When it gets above, am I going to buy it? Am I going to sell it? Every candle when you're looking at this and you're analyzing it. Okay? You have no idea what's going to happen. Let me see what the news was. Let me refresh the browser. Let me pull this in here. Stand by. Okay, ready? Let's see what happened. And again, by the time you see the news, it's too late. Okay, so now look at this. Is bad, weird. It's horrible news. So this should go down hard. Let's see if it does. Right? Horrible U.S. news on both U.S. core retail sales and retail sales month over month is horrible. This should totally blow down. The euro U.S. dollar is going down. The pound's going down. Let me see where my Swissy is. The CAD's going up, which means the euro should go down, which totally does not make any sense. Everything should be going the opposite way. Okay, so fine. So then it might be positioning. See, this might be positioning. So bad U.S. news. This should break down here at 7:33, a couple minutes later. This should go down. The euro U.S. dollar should go up. Let me see where that is. Okay, it's 31.83. It just broke below 31.83. London, it's an uptrend. No clear setups. No clear setups just yet. All right, so I'm going to go to my dashboard. Got a little tiny baby winner here. Let me open up that and. Let me make sure I add that in. So I have 12.13 Tokyo US yen buy 77.81. So I got a 1, a 0, and a 0. Okay. And I'll just say what I do good. Well, I closed profitable prior to the news. That's all I can say, right? I have no idea which way it's going to go, and I think that's really the best. You know, the conservative approach. That is the safest conservative approach. Just lock in your profits and let the news go. You know, sometimes I don't mind taking 2/3 off profitable and then tighten your stop and then just hang on. You keep that 1/3. Hey, this could jetpack straight up. Great, you're profitable. If it goes against you, you're only going to have 1/3 with like a 15-20 pip stop. That's not going to blow out your trades. So, you know, I personally kind of like that approach. Take 2/3 off, leave 1/3 open for that last chance to make some pips. And if it does, great. And if it doesn't, you're reducing your risk, but yet you keep the window of opportunity open for pips. Make sense? I'll come back in a couple. Let's see where this flushes out here. Okay, thanks. Okay, so now I'm watching the euro US dollar right now, and I have a buy. Here's why. because I have a bounce up here, I have a rising trend line, and it's back down near this trend line, which is at a black. Okay, so right now we need to buy every time it touches down here, right, until this trend is broken. So I've got a buy parked 31.75. My stop loss is below the red thermal grid, and should get touched in here. And let's just see how the trend holds up. There's news in 45 minutes. Let's see, what is the news? The news is business inventories and IBD, which is a little economic optimism. It's a little bit lower priority. It is a low impact news, and medium impact is business inventories. So I'm trying to see if we can get a bounce. So we'll keep watching this. Let's take a look at this yen and see what happened on our yen trade. So more chop. See, so the news broke, we were positive, took the first one off, took us out at 0, and it swung up and down. It can't decide really where to go. And the Swissy is in, see the Swissy, same thing, the Swissy's in a downtrend, retesting a black to go down. I'm just let's see, 30, 70, 93, 70 to 80. That's a pretty tight stop. If we watch a sell on this, we've got 10 minutes in this. Okay, so we'll keep watching. I'll come back. Okay, we just got touched in on this euro. Again, here's the rising trend line. I put it a little bit above the black grid. So we have a rising trend line and it's pulled back to the black grid. Let's see what kind of a bounce we can get off here. Okay, I'll come back. Okay, just hit profit 1. I just had to put it, there's just too much struggle here. I just had to put it at this top. I just don't know, how much higher this can go. So I pulled one off here at 14. I'm at break even. News is coming out in 8-9 minutes. Well, what time is it? 9 o'clock news, I believe. Yeah. So I'm just, the news has been bad. U.S. news should push this higher, and there's business inventories coming up at 9, so we got a little bit of time. But I'm just looking at, this is support turned into resistance. This is a battle zone. This is a battle zone. So I just want to be smart and respect the recent support resistance levels. Matter of fact, I'm going to bring it down a little bit. It's got to get past here. So that's 17, 18, 19 pips. You have to read the chart. You can't just put flat numbers out there. You have to read current price. So this is where the market stopped. This is where the market stopped it here. That means that there's buyers now broke, there's sellers. So there's a seller defense line right here, and it's going to struggle. It's struggling here, it's struggling here. We got 7 minutes left. We'll see if we can pop this thing. So I'll let this run for a little bit. Okay, sounds good. Just hit take profit 2, you saw, and fantastic. So we pulled off 14 and 18, and if it goes beyond here, I'm fired up. Let's run my little scriptaroo here. See what the news does. See, so I don't really care at this point. 14, 18, good job. And we'll let the news run, and should be okay. Should be okay. Okay, so great. I'll come back. It's working and working and working. We'll just see. Let's see again. So we got news in 20 minutes. 19 minutes is other news. So I'm protected. I should be okay. Again, the overall trend is up. As you can see, it's a rising trend line. We got in when the trend line, when price neared the trend line in a black thermal grid. That's magical, and look at that. It just bounced off there perfectly so far. Alright, thanks. So you can see, look at our yen. We were smart, took the profit when we could, and sure enough, the news should be pushing it down, and down it goes. Euro's headed up. The US yen is punching down. Swissy is struggling to head down. Alright, so it's a little bit after 9. The news came out. It was bad news. Should push this higher. Notice this price. Look how it stalled again. So we have higher highs. We have higher lows. We nailed this entry. Just absolutely nailed it. Let's see where our low is. 31.73. Where's the low on this guy? 31.78. So 31.73, I think we got in at the absolute rock bottom. We didn't have any drawdown. Nice. And so this bad news should push this up. Here's what I see. I see this trying to get up around 3280 is previous support. Let me pull up a chart and I'll show you why. Let's see that. Okay, look at this, is a bigger picture. Look at this bottomed. See this bottomed, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, then all of a sudden it just broke and it never came back. I would not be shocked. And this is an hourly chart. This is last Thursday, last Friday. Here's Monday. Today's Tuesday. Today and tomorrow this could back up to 3280 area to retest as a nice established support level that was broken. Bigger time frame. Okay, so we'll see if it's able to push up higher into that area. Okay, so right now it's just got to break through here. So I am going to continue to watch this and try to follow with my stop and max out as much until I hit my 200 pips on the month. We're almost in the midway of the month. I need to bang out my 200 pips, so I'm going to follow this and squeeze it as best I can. Okay, stand by. Alright, well, now I didn't take my stop loss and tighten it up. It's pulling back hard. Let's see if we can get it to hold on this grid. After I drew this black line, it's still an uptrend until this break. So I'm going to wait for this to bottom and turn, and then I'll follow it. Makes sense? So it surged, took my profits. I'm going to have it come down. I'm going to wait for it to turn, and then I'll trail the stop loss. See if we can get this to move up higher and then retest this line at the London close here and see if I can squeeze out 30 pips. I really don't want this to come back and touch me out here, so all signs are screaming up on this still, so let's see if we can hang on. I really don't want to lose this last third. I really needed 20-30 pips on this third to get my pips up for the month, so let's keep watching this for a little while. Down to 12 minutes. Come on, man. Don't do it. Come on. The pound is going hard. Swissy is pushing up hard. Swissy is retesting a black grid. Everything's kind of in a chop. See, it's 9:17. Come on, man. Ugh. I want to stay in this for a while here. Come on, come on, come on. I mean, I could have had 30 right here. I would have had a 1480 and a 30, which is a fantastic trade. So I really need to get it. If I can live through this bottom, and this, you know, bottoms and heads back up, I'm going to follow this guy. So I'll stay focused here. Hold on. Alright, just touched me out. Oh, darn it. So I got 2.6, which is weird. It's supposed to be a break even. I think it was popping around. It was chopping. It touched me in and it popped hard. I got a little slippage in my direction, which is fine, but I'd rather be still in the trade here. So it did the surge, came right back down, stopped us out, and we'll just keep watching what's going on here. But pulled off 14, 18, and then a 3. I'll put in my trade analyzer dashboard. Great trade, pulled the trigger, trend was up. I love setting chart trader at a level and wait for price to touch me in. Pretty much zero drawdown on this trade, so trade well done, good job, good job. Could have squeaked it out up here, you know, followed the stop all the way up and maximized it. I was trying to get a little better run, but coulda, shoulda, woulda there, so I'll keep watching. Thanks, stand by. Okay, so now you see it's breaking the red. So now it was an uptrend, we have lower highs, now it's breaking down. See this? So now we're watching for opportunities where this closes. If this closes below this red, let me switch back to a 15 with sniper. If this closes below this red, I'm going in. 37 seconds, stand by, move to sell. Initiating launch sequence. A couple of options here is to use chart trader to park the sell back up at this trend, this black, right? But we don't know how much power this has got. See, there it goes, it just broke. So I have to make a fundamental decision. How many pips off is this? 31.57. 60 to 70, it's 10 pips. It's a pretty hard move. Couple things that I can do is this. Watch. I'm going to use chart trader to pop a sell. Pending sell, see that? And I'm going to go at it this way. This is my approach. I have a sell parked, and I am going to follow it right here. And the farther this goes up, let me get this stuff out of the way. I'm going to trail it up, it's broke, and I'm going to squeeze it as high as I can. Okay? So if it breaks new lows, I'm in. See this? If it comes all the way back up to this trend line, which it might, fine, I got it covered. I'm going to follow it back up there. But if it's got so much power that it just breaks down, I have the breakout caught right here. So this is one approach to use. So this is an example where we'll see how the the reds are disrespected into the New York session because there's just too much momentum. We'll see how this all falls out here. Because this hasn't moved too much. Think about it, 3160, 3240, so that's 40, that's 80 pips. So basically it's stuck in an 80 pip channel. And we'll see if this closing hard. 3170. Let's see what this did here. Zoom back in again. See, it only broke 10 pips. So from 3170 trend line, right at that 3170 to 31, basically, I mean it's 13 pips. It didn't break that far. If we get a doji and this pops back up to here, then it's a good way to follow it. Okay, I'll come back. Okay, it's trying to make a move here. There she goes. Wow. Interesting, I'm not filled. That's interesting. It's not entering. Look at that. A lot of slippage there. That's not ideal. Okay, so it's powering down. Let's see where our take profits are. Let me zoom out so I can see a little better. $31.10 to $31.40. That's 30 pips. 25. I'm gonna look around. Yeah, 27, 25. Okay, so I'm thinking right in this area is about halfway. Let's see if we can get this to fill. So it's doing a power break through this red here. Pound is also breaking down. See what kind of a retest this is going to do. I'll come back. Okay, it's powering. I think we made the right move here. It's exciting. I'm just putting thin lines on the grid so when I collapse I can see this is a red, a black, and a black. Okay, so I'm just going to expand, zoom in. So I'm about half channel. We're up 15 pips and moving. That's fantastic. So let's, now the challenge is, because we had a bad fill, how far up is this going to retrace before we, so I have to follow. This is gorgeous. Stand by. Come on, fill me now. Fill me now. Struggling. Halfway. See, it's trying to. It's trying to close one. It's doing a split. It's working. Come on now. It's trying. I'm going to get robbed on this deal. Come on. Come on. Come on. Push down. Push down. Push down. Everybody's taking profit at halfway. Come on. Oh, this is horrible. There. See that? Nice. Here comes again, splitting it again. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. This is exciting. There it goes. Come on. Come on, processing. It should be taken 2 here. I'm not sure what's going on. See, I'm stuck. It says it took 2, but it didn't. See that? Let me see what happens when I run my script. Weird, something happened here. I'm at 20, 23 and 23. Okay, so it says I got out at 23 and 23, but for some reason my terminal shows I'm still at 0.2. That's okay. Let's go to the history and see what happens here. 3148. Okay, so 3148. Look at that. I took 2. Isn't that weird? Must have had 6 on here. Okay. Well, must be working. Maybe I didn't even recognize this. I'll have to double check. I was messing around with one, changing it to a 6 instead of a 3. I must have done that. Okay, well, let's see how it goes here. We're doing great. We're doing great overall. Taking a look here. Alright, so it's broke this red. We're going to hang on and see that large sucking sound you hear is the market pulling it to 3072. So I thought it might turn and go up to the retest. I guess it's not done yet. It's pushing lower. So that's fine. I don't really care, right? I really don't care. I'm just gonna follow it. So what I'm looking for is I want this to push and give me a green candle like a doji. I want some kind of a slowdown, and when that happens, then I'm going to follow my stop, right? So this is great. Okay, so we got 30 seconds. This should close below halfway. I like that. It's interesting to just see what the halfway point does. But I mean, as you can see, it did retest the red. It broke and retest, so we had bad. We only had a second or two to really make that decision. So I'm okay. I didn't get the best fill and I didn't get the best, but we were in place. I mean, I love that approach where if you can have 2 charts, park a reset here for the retest, great. But if it free falls before it retests, then you catch it, and that's what I took that approach. I thought I'll go from the bottom and follow it up because I wasn't sure if it was going to go all the way up to the black or not. So it seemed to work okay, and it's pushing hard, 25. I'm going to get my pips back today. So pound just free falling. Swissy just slammed through a red also, going up hard. So I'm just kind of focusing on the euro right now. But I mean, guys, it's really, I mean, this is my trading approach today. Trend line. I connected the lows. I watched the news. I parked post news. I parked buy at the trend line. It touched in by 5 pips, right? Touched me in. I took profits. I missed this line. Could have squeezed my third there, and it didn't go higher. Turned. It broke all the way through to a red. Okay. Now it's a downtrend. So it retested the red and plunged. I got in here and down it goes. Where does it go from here? Don't really care. I'm profitable. So I'm looking for this. I want to hide behind these clusters as I can, right? So I don't want to get too tight. I don't want to follow it too close. I want to give it some room. So I'm going to copy this red line down to this next grid. So if I I know that that's a red grid. These are gray, so I don't have any lines on those. So when I zoom in here, we can see, wow, look at that power. This is addicting, isn't it? When you see that kind of power, it's just smoking through. Beautiful. So again, I think that was smart to take profits about halfway at 20 some pips, because look, it did struggle there, and now it's looking to break down. I think that's a fair approach. Again, I'm collecting pips. If I was at 200 pips, I would have put it, you know, stretch it a little bit further. At 400 pips, stretch it further. Alright, I'll come back, let this candle close, see where we're at, and reevaluate. Alright, we got some power here in the last 2 to 3 minutes on this candle. It's powering down. The Great Britain did a perfect break and a retest of a gray. And again, I'm kind of watching for this to slow down to follow it down. I mean, when we're up, you know, 50 pips, locking in 50 pips is fantastic. Let's see if I can basically, right, well, right in this area, I think 3098, 3148. Yeah, there, right in there is about 50 pips. So my goal is to be great to lock in 50 pips. But okay, so now, so I got to make a decision now. Do I want to just take profits off here at this red when it's going to be, you know, 70, 80 pips? I gotta make a decision here. How much do I want to squeeze this thing out? Because that is going to be a red thermal grid. Now right now it's 10 a.m. Central. Okay, that's a hard push. Look at that, closed right at the bottom of that candle. It's just sucking it right down to this red. Wow. So I'm going to hide behind this grid. I'm following it down. I don't want to get too aggressive. Let's see where the stop loss is. 31 pips to stop. So I've locked in about 30 pips, which is great, right? If I can get a 20, 23, and a 30, that's great. So I'm going to follow it down. I don't want to pinch it too crazy, but with this kind of move, who knows if this is going to smoke through the red or not, or if it's going to bounce. So I don't know. So I'm going to stay back a little bit, and I'm going to watch this. Okay, so I'll come back. Okay, so it's powering down. Take a look at this chart. Look at that Swissy. Broke the red, came back, never looked back, and it's just pounding. Once that broke, look at that, 94.42. It'll probably slow there. Amazing. Our yen, look at this, yen is just chopping around. And the pound, wow. It's just got a huge level of support right across here. And when that broke, it's just gone. And it's interesting because there's little signs, right? Look at how it snuck below, didn't make as high, and then dropped hard. That happens all day long on the pound. Look at that. Connecting the highs. Support, 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 snuck below, rejected, can't get as much high. When it's back here, boom, free fall. Alright, so we're doing good. We got 9 minutes. This looks like this is going to punch and continue breaking this red as everything is. It's a good day to be short. Oh my gosh, we're going to break 90 pips here. Oh my gosh, look at this. Look at this Swissy just moving. Wow. Where's this going to stop? Okay, 54.97. It looks like it's pushing hard. It's about 50% there. The euro, I'm up 87 pips and pounding. So I want this to get closed below the red, and then I'll sneak this down to that grid and lock in 60, 70 pips. Okay, so that's what I'm doing. Come back in a minute. Okay, so we're up 63 pips. I don't want to give up too much here. It's on a red, it's bouncing off a red. I'm going to pull this down, lock in 50. Let's see if I can stay in here. 13 pips, stop loss, 12, yeah. So that's 50. That's fantastic. You know, it didn't stay below the red so far. It looks like it might bounce there. But if I can get out at 50 on my trailing, I'm totally content and at peace with that. No problems. I squeezed it. You know, nobody knows how far this is going to go. Again, now it's 10:17 a.m. There's FOMC later today. This could chop until then. Who knows? So I made my pips and I'm happy. I moved quickly and decisively to get in and caught this break of this trend. So I'm doing great. I feel fine. I'll see what happens. Stand by. Just for my own, I put a little price ladder in here. So I'm at 50 pips. Here's 60, 70, 80, 90 pips. So I'm going to squeeze this out. It just makes sense. It's the London close is coming up. It's at a big level. I fully expect this to bounce around in here. I'm not going to panic. I'm going to give it some time. Price does not go straight down and straight up. So I'm going to be patient. I'm not going to get too tight. I'm going to squeeze this as deep and as hard as I can get it. If this thing gets back down and touches here, I'm gonna slam it at 68 right here. And keep watching it. I mean, everything is really, I mean, the pound is doing a reversal. Check this out. So the pound broke, and now that's pushing up hard. Let's take a look at the Swissy. See how it's starting a red candle. So I don't want to be foolish. You know, it can't. I can't expect it to just run hundreds and hundreds of pips. So I'm trailing it. I'm tight. I'm looking at it. And here's 60, here's 70, here's 80, here's 90 pips. So let's see what we can squeeze on this guy. Okay, I'm going to try this. I am going to go above this grid here, and I'm going to wait for this to cycle. I don't want to get touched out just yet. I'm going to put this here, 3088 to 98. Okay. $78, and I'm gonna be patient here and let this cycle, because I'm optimistic that I can get a little bit deeper here. Alright, so there we are, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. I know where I'm at. I'm locked in here at 26 pips to the stop loss. So I'm at about 40 some pips, which is fine. Hide behind a grid. I'm going to let this cycle because I'm really thinking this has got to come back down to this red, and when it does, that's when I'll slam it. Alright, stand by for more. Okay, so we got a turn. See, now I'm a little more comfortable following it, right? We let that burp, didn't get touched out, and now I want to squeeze it. Let's see if we can get this to close red. We got 11 minutes, so I'll keep watching it. Alright, I just tightened this up to 30.98, and we're down to the last 9-10 minutes. I'm not going to give up any more. This makes new highs, we're done, so I'm going to just keep, as this gets deeper, when it touches this one, I'll move it to this one, and I'm just going to pinch this thing out. So there's, you know, right now it's at about 50 pips. Guaranteed. As you can see, it's 10 minutes to the London close. Let's see if we can get a nice deep retest of this red here. and let it cycle. Here's a 5-minute, just so you can see what a 5-minute looks like. So it's burp, doji went higher, did a wick, went a little bit higher. We'll see if we can get this to come back down. This is, you know, a nice candle. It totally engulfed almost the previous two. Let's see if it keeps coming. Well, it's struggling here. Not sure we're going to get out of this alive. Really wanted to see if we can milk a few more out of this pig, but 50 is good. We're 40 pips from the bottom. You know, it's crazy when you have this kind of move and greed kicks in. You're like, yeah, it's going a mile. That's the time you need to tighten it up, because it's not gonna. It normally just can't keep doing that. Sure enough, you know, bottomed out, and when it got below the red, I should have been locking it in. But we'll see if we can squeeze a few more out of here. But so far, it's a good day. Right now, I'm up 81 pips banked. Plus this 50 would give me 130 for the day. Not a bad day. We're not quite done yet, so we'll see what we can do. Okay, we got a nice push, so I'm just tightening this up as we go. 10 pips at a time. Down the last couple minutes. This is pushing. This is great. So it's 50, 60. I've just locked in 70. It's pushing for 80. And let's see if we can squeeze this out here. It's after the London close. It did a bounce, and it's looking to keep going. So let's see if we can pinch this as hard as we can. Oh, the pound is just breaking lows. Guess what the Swissy did? Well, the CAD. Let me show you. Oh my gosh! Look at this CAD. It did a beautiful bounce. Look at this CAD. It did a break and a retest of a black, and up it goes. That's nice. This yen is looking for new highs. Swissy burped, and now it's heading back for new highs. Look at this pound. It did a break of a black, did a retest, looking for new lows. Let's see if this euro can keep going. I don't want to get too tight and stop it out again. I want to try to get as close to low, but let's see if this is going to continue down. Look at that pound making, look at that, pushing for new lows. Nice. So that's pushing for new lows, and the Swissy is retesting new highs. Look at that. trying to get to that 94.42 area. So look at that, 80 pips. I've locked in 70. I can't lose. I'm just going to squeeze out as much as I can. Okay, so interesting how that closed. Look at that, it closed right at the bottom of the red. Let me zoom in on this 5 minute. Let's just watch a 5 minute, see what it does. See, the news is coming up in an hour and a half. So I can see this oscillating until that news, chopping around. So if I get taken out at 70 pips, I'm not going to worry one bit. Now that would be 20 pips from the bottom, the current bottom. Okay, great, we got 71. So I got 23, I got a 23, and a 71. I'll take that. Not worried about it one bit. Okay. So we did the buy, flipped it over, rolled it, took it to a sell, squeezed it as hard as we could so far. We'll see what the rest of the day plays out. But right now for the day, I'm up 153 pips for the day, not bad. And I'll come back, give this a little bit, hour or so. We'll do a quick summary at the end and see where this ends up for the day. News is coming out right now. No change in the fund rates, unchanged at a quarter. It's kind of mixed. Some good, some bad. Expanding economy has been expanding moderately despite global slowdown. No change in communication policy in the statement. Let's see if we get a break and a retest of this red. I'm not 100%. Okay, so it closed below, but I'm not sold on this just yet. Recent indicators point to some improvement in labor market conditions. Okay, 2-year note was up, 5-year note is up. Keep rates exceptionally low. Fed leaves rates unchanged. I'm listening to CNBC. Fed, the economy has been expanding moderately despite global slowdown. Huh. Fed repeat strains. Oh, let's see. Swissy's headed up a little bit. FOMC vote was 9-1 in favor. Chicago Fed's Evans dissented. Not sure what that means. Business investment appears to be growing less rapidly. All right, I'm going to mute that. So that's kind of negative. So anyway, I'm watching this. To continue plans to extend average maturity of holdings. I'm watching for the highest probability break retest here, and Fed leaves rates unchanged. These are chopping around, and that's fine. I mean, it could chop around here for 20-30 minutes before it really gets a sense of direction, so I'll come back. Okay, so here's a wrap up for the day. We were able to pull off here this bounce for a buy, turned around. You see it's trending up, came back to black and a trend line, bought it, pushed it up, took our pips, died, rolled over. News pushed it below the red. We jumped into a sell and it plunged hard. We pulled off 23, 23, and then I milked it all the way down to 70.1 or 79 or 71. And then FOMC came out and bam, it chopped and chopped here for a while. And then it plunged and I just stayed away. These are just my markers, as you saw before, trying to squeak out as much as I could. So anyway, wrap up. That's it. Good day. See you tomorrow.